Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share with you a little recap of my Disneyland trip. And I want to let you know, as a travel agent who plans Disney vacations every day, it is still always a learning experience. So today I want to tell you about 5 things that I got wrong on this trip and 5 things that I did pretty good with and got right. And hopefully you will learn from some of my mistakes and maybe take away some really helpful tips and tricks as you're planning your upcoming Disneyland vacation. Okay, I want to start with doing carry-on only for this trip because I did not anticipate how much clothing I needed for this trip. I did not plan well for the clothing that I would need for the cooler weather and the hotter days. So basically I needed to pack for both. This is very common with California vacations, and I was not prepared for that. I am the type of person that is like determined to do carry-on only. I hate checking luggage. But in this situation, I ended up underpacking, not having adequate warm clothing that was much needed. And the biggest issue was on the way home, because on the trip itself, I ended up having to purchase a winter coat, hats, gloves, sweatshirts, this cute Spirit jersey. I purchased so many things because I was not well prepared. And coming back, I had to really overpack my carry-on bag so that it was so big, because it was expandable, that I could no longer use it for under my seat. And I ended up having to check that. And I had to check my suitcase because it was over capacity with weight. And then I almost missed my layover. And in that situation, I was really panicked because I don't, again, normally check luggage. And now all of my luggage was checked. And I was worried I wasn't going to be able to get it back because they took my luggage. I didn't know what flight I was getting on next because it appeared that ours was canceled. And it was just a whole nother level of anxiety that I did not need on this trip. And moving forward, I think I am just going to know that on a Disney, especially a Disneyland vacation where I'm going so far away and the weather is temperamental, just check a bag, just pay the extra $35-40 that I didn't want to pay, and have adequate clothing and shoes and all of the things that I need for my trip. The second thing that I did wrong on this trip was not adequately budgeting for all of the things that I would be buying. And it's kind of silly because I went in knowing I'm buying a Spirit jersey. Most of the travel agents that I travel with, they all have the Spirit jerseys. They're all cute and young, and they're like, oh, what Spirit jersey are you wearing? And everybody had all their Spirit jersey outfits packed, and I don't own one. So like that was my thing. I'm like, all right, there's 2 things I'm going to be purchasing on this trip. Most importantly, these adorable ears. This was a really good purchase, and I'm happy that I got it. Let's put those on for the rest of the video. When do I get to wear these? So yeah, I'm gonna wear them now. But I did get the Spirit jersey. You can see I'm wearing it. Let me show you guys the back, how cute it is. So I thought I was so cool in my Spirit jersey, but looking back, it was definitely a very unnecessary expense. These things go for between, I don't even know, I think $70 or $80 and up. Many of them were $100 and over. I feel like the quality is not great. One wash and it faded. It's incredibly wrinkled. I don't iron clothes. I hate to iron anything. So this is something I will only wear in Disneyland, and I don't go to Disneyland as often as I go to Disney World. So I feel like I spent too much money on this trip, and mostly because, like I said, I had to buy a Disneyland coat, like a legit, like a puffer jacket from Disneyland, from one of the shops, because I could not get a Walmart or a Target or an Amazon delivery quickly enough for the, I think, 48-degree weather that we were having. So I ended up spending like $100 just on the jacket alone. And then I bought a really cute sweatshirt, which I'm not sorry about that one. The ears, the Spirit jersey, all of the snacks, I felt so inclined to try every single trending snack. And I had notes on my phone that like specifically told me like where I had to get certain snacks. And I was really in over my head. And I just kind of got to the point where I lost all control of my expenses. So I definitely need to zone that in, budget accordingly, save up those gift cards, and not just go crazy buying everything and anything that I could get my hands on. And I think also just because I was not prepared, I ended up spending way more than I needed to. And again, if I just had checked a bag, I wouldn't have overspent like that because I would have had probably a coat and gloves and all the things just in case I needed them. Okay, the third mistake that I made, and this was a big one, and this is a mistake that I do time and time again, and I will probably do it on my next Disney trip, which is in 3 days, by the way. I'm so excited. I'm headed to Disney World this weekend for my birthday. But I always overpack my days. And on this particular trip, I had 7 park days, 7 days, nonstop. Rope drop, nonstop till close. And it is so necessary, I now realize, to take breaks in between, because by the end of the trip, I was really cranky. I was short-tempered with people. This was partly a travel agent training that I was doing. So I was sharing a room with a bunch of other girls, and I had mentioned this on my last vlog. I was just really needing some downtime, some alone time, some quiet time, and I wasn't able to obtain that due to the nature of the trip. And because I overpacked my days, I was kind of miserable. I wasn't even enjoying myself anymore. I was going through the motions, doing the things, trying the snacks, going on the rides, but like I was dragging and it wasn't worth it. I would have rather have sacrificed one day midweek to just sleep in, go to the pool, and just have a relaxing day. So definitely something that I will take note of on the next Disneyland trip. Another mistake that I made, and I kind of already mentioned this, but feeling so dedicated to trying every snack, every drink, every, specialty cocktail, I felt like such crap by the end of the week because of all of the sugar and calories and fried and fatty foods that I had eaten. And I just, in addition to being incredibly tired, my digestive system was bad and I was not feeling well at all. I was incredibly bloated. I think that I need to just kind of enjoy the experience and not always have such a structured list of to-dos, making it feel like I have to check mark off all of these things, and just kind of maybe have in the back of my mind like some snacks that might be fun to try, but not to be so inclined to try every single one. And that's easy to do when you're scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You're seeing all of the new stuff that's out and you're so excited to like get that cool picture, like holding it up in front of the castle and your Starbucks, and you're holding it up and you're like, look at me, I got this. Nope. Like, moving forward, I really do need to calm down with that. Although I did have an amazing ice cream from the Gibson girls, and I brought it into the tiki room and I had a moment. But it's those moments that you have to savor and not just make it like you're constantly needing to eat and try all of these things. Really bad health decision. Okay, I think this is my 5th mistake. The 5th mistake that I made was underestimating the amount of knowledge that you need for Lightning Lane. So Lightning Lane is amazing and it's so worth it. It's so worth it in Disneyland. Really, you get a lot done. But the app is temperamental. There are things that I was not even aware of. So the situation that I had was I was traveling with a group of travel agent friends, and I had already gone on Soarin', and I picked my next Lightning Lane, but then all of my friends were like, oh, we're going on Soarin'. And I had already ridden it. And I don't know why this didn't connect for me. I should already know this. And it's like one of those things like you know it, but you don't think about it at the time. So I'm like, all right, so I'll just switch up my next Lightning Lane and I'll do Soarin' again so I can do it with all of you guys. Well, you can't do it twice because I already used like my credit for doing Soarin'. I couldn't do it again, not on the Lightning Lane. And because I tried, it like locked something in my app. So I wasn't able to get anything. Like I was not able to get any Lightning Lanes from that point on. and I had to go to customer services, and I had to have them help me with my phone and fix the glitch and everything else. So lesson learned, it does take some knowing of how to do things when you are doing lightning lane, and that's why it can be helpful too to have a travel agent who maybe has already made some mistakes and can help you through some questions that you may have. But that was my last major fail. Now let's move on to some of the fun stuff, some of the things that I did well on this trip. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at myself because before I started filming this, I was trying to do what my thumbnail was gonna be. And I was thinking I could do right and wrong, this and that, whatever. And I'm doing all these silly poses, and I'm realizing I am surrounded by windows right now. And if somebody came in the room or was watching me through the window, it's our porch is here and anyone could be out there and anybody could see me, and it's just really funny. I look really silly right now. But anyway, let's go back, let's focus. Okay, the number one thing that I did right on this trip is I stayed on property. I know in Disneyland there are so many resorts that are close by, and you can basically walk into Disneyland through a lot of the resorts that are not on Disneyland property. But that being said, you get one lightning lane experience if you're staying on property, so you don't even have to pay for it. You get to select a lightning lane, so that is pretty cool. I really did appreciate that. And also, there is just something so nostalgic about staying at the Disneyland Hotel. I love the Disneyland Hotel. I have toured all of the hotels. I stayed at the Grand Californian. I've toured all the hotels off, not all, but most of the hotels also off property, and nothing compares to being right in downtown Disney. You walk out your door and you're just already in it. Just like Disney World, but Disney World is so sprawling, and Disneyland is just so, I don't know, it's this tight-knit little community. You really feel like you're in a bubble, and I love it, and I'm not sorry about it, and I will stay there every time that I can. Okay, so the second thing that I did right was pre-purchasing the lightning lane. Having that locked in for my trip made all of the difference in the world. You select your lightning lanes in Disneyland and California Adventure, and you kind of keep it rolling all day long. Where I feel like in Disney World, things kind of sell out quickly, and you get to a point where there's not many good things that you can do or use it for. But I feel like in Disneyland, you really get to get a lot done. You can see a lot. You never feel pressured for missing out on something, and especially if you're only doing a 2 or 3 day trip, it's absolutely a necessary thing, and it was definitely worth every penny. So the third thing that I did right, this is very unique. I literally had Lightning McQueen pick me up from the airport. It was the highlight of my trip, such a magical experience. I found this woman through a travel agent friend who has a Lightning McQueen car. I think she had Lilo and Stitch. She had Mater. She had some random Disney themed cars. And he pulled up in Lightning McQueen playing Life is a Highway on full blast. My driver was so entertaining. He just the whole ride to the Disneyland Hotel, he's taking me all through California, telling me where different movies were filmed, playing the soundtrack of the Cars movie the whole way, speeding down the freeway a little bit. I got a little nervous at one point, but he was blasting music and going really fast and acting like he was racing the person next to us. I laughed so hard. I had such a good time, and I got some really great pictures of myself with Lightning McQueen. It was really a lot of fun. The number 4th thing that I did right, and I do this right on every Disneyland trip. I'm so proud of myself for always doing this one exactly the right way. I splurge on the World of Color dessert party. The World of Color dessert party in California Adventure is just so beautiful and amazing. You have premier seating, and you get snacks that will literally last you for the week. It comes in a box, and you get this box of cookies and fruit and cheese and crackers and all of these things. and you snack on it during the show, but then you also bring it back to your hotel with you and probably will continue snacking on it for the next few days because it's so much. Plus you get drinks, and it could be alcoholic drinks or non-alcoholic drinks. On this trip, I actually got hot cocoa because it was in the 40s. It was so cold, but it's just such a nice way to sit back, watch the show, relax, enjoy desserts and snacks and drinks. And I just love doing this on every trip. And I do think it is well worth doing. Okay. And the fifth thing that I got right was being able to see the Paint the Night parade in 3 different locations, but last minute, just like hearing the parade coming, finding a location, settling in and watching it. I know some people camp out hours in advance, and I'm telling you, it is not necessary to do that. I was able to watch it right on Main Street. I watched it from a couple of other areas. Right over by It's a Small World is another really great location. Was able to watch it there. There was another location, I can't remember right now. I was able to watch it there as well. And every time, it really was not like well in advance that we were lining up for it. It was like, oh, the parade's about to happen. Let's like shimmy over here. And I was with a lot of people, and we were still able to find a great spot to watch the parade. Do not miss this parade. It is amazing. It is just so beautiful to watch and so much fun. So overall, this Disneyland vacation was pretty phenomenal. I enjoyed every minute of it, even though I got cranky and tired and all of the things that happen to most people on any Disney vacation. Let's be real. It really was great. And even as a travel advisor who works with and trains with Disney all of the time and helps people all of the time, I just kind of proved to myself there's always more to learn. Every time I go into the parks, I learn something new that I can bring back to my clients and share with them. And hopefully it will help their trip go more smoothly than maybe mine did, because I, came into a certain situation that I needed to get myself out of. So if you're looking to book a Disney vacation, I'm always here to help. Obviously, as you guys already know, I'm a travel agent. So if you're looking to book any kind of trip, even if it's not Disney, I book all the things and I would love to help you. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. Have you messed anything up majorly on your Disneyland vacation? Was there something that went wrong for you and your family? Or is there something that you felt that you did so right and it's a helpful tip to let other people know about? Please let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear about your Disneyland vacation as well. Please continue following along. I will be sharing my upcoming Disney World vacation with you guys. We're headed to our Florida vacation rental home in just a few days, and I'm really excited. We're going with friends, and we're also going to Universal. Harry Potter fan here, so I love the best of both worlds. I can spend some good time in Diagon Alley and really nerd out on that, and then I can also go to the Magic Kingdom and be on Main Street and be just as happy. So it's all good, all the good things. Thank you again for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell notification so that you get notified when I do share a video. And if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're still watching and made it to the end, please do a castle emoji below so I know you watched the whole thing. That's a commitment. Thanks again, and I will see you all really soon. Bye.